What's up, y'all? We're out here in the shop putting these 318 heads together. I'm gonna run through and show you how to install one of these valve springs real quick. We've got down to the last three here, so let me get my parts together and I'll show you. I'll run you through it. It's pretty much just a reverse process of removing the old valve springs. Just, you want to be sure you got your new valve seals in there. Make sure you got all your retainers and your keepers cleaned up nice. And I grab my valve here. Go ahead and give your valve guys some lubrication there so it ain't dry on first initial startup. Once you got your valve seal on there, the seal itself will hold the valve up while you grab your spring and get everything into position. We went ahead and decided just to throw caution to the wind and went ahead and put these Cam 901 springs on here. So we're going to see how they do. And next is basically reversal of taking off your valve springs, putting your tool on here and pressing the spring. And grab your keepers and drop them in. Sometimes you'll have to lean the spring over so you can get your keepers by the retainer, or you can just compress it down farther. Some people like to put a little dab of grease on these keepers to hold them in place while you back the tool off, but I found that the WD-40 on the valve stem works just fine. Once you get your keepers in there, make sure they're lined up and seated properly. And just back your tool off. That's basically all there is to it. Come back and make sure everything's seated properly. We can move on to the next one now. One of the biggest things when doing a project like this is just make sure you got your workspace. You got enough room to work, and you try to keep everything organized. I got my valve train tray laid over on the other workbench over there, so I can have this whole workbench to assemble these heads. Old school mechanic taught me this years ago. They said if you want to test to see if your valve guides are wore out or not, spray a little WD-40 down into the valve guide itself and insert the valve and plug the top of the valve stem seal with your finger. Your valve should stay in place without dropping out, because it creates a vacuum right there. If you can do that, your valve guides are good. So we're all good here. That's just a little old school DIY trick. Rubber spring, retainer. Have our keepers close by ready to go. And down to the last one now. This last exhaust valve, I gotta move my blocks over here so I can get to the valve. You can't see this off camera, but I've got my box that my valve springs come in. And I'm keeping my little small parts like my keepers and my retainers in there so I don't knock them off the workbench and have to go chase them around across the floor. Last valve seal here. Most of y'all probably already know this, but the exhaust valve ones are the ones that shape like an umbrella. The intake valves are a little bit bigger as far as the seal, valve seals wise. Same deal though, if you put that valve seal down, it'll hold the the valve up while you grab your spring. Grab my retainer. That is the last one. Now all we have to do is clean the rocker shafts up. I need to drive the freeze plugs into these heads, and then these bad boys will be done.